Hello, everyone. My name is WalStreet, and the title is not clickbait. It's me with the truth. In 2021, I was sent to a psych ward. Why am I talking about this? It's been over a year. Why am I talking about it now? Well, a part of a challenge me and a friend of mine named Random agreed to is an uncomfortable month. If we think of something, we either plan for it or we start doing it. And I saw a video today from Liddy Animations about her visits to the psych ward. And an idea popped in my head saying I should make a talk video about it. Well, as part of the challenge, I have to do it now. But it's literally no planning. I literally just finished the video, set up the camera, and go. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my visit and what drove me to do it. In the hopes that whoever finds this video can get some sense of what to actually expect. Because here's the thing, every psych ward is going to be different based off of funding, nurses, doctors, psychologists, training, staff, etc. Volunteer or involunteer. So I can't give you a perfect idea of what it is. I can just tell you from my experience, one story, and you can explore other people's to see how they match up. My story is more neutral. It wasn't that good and it wasn't that bad. It was just a break. Which honestly, in retrospect, after a year, I realized that's what I needed. For those who are new to the channel, because we gained over 300 subscribers since 2021, who may not have watched my older videos, but I was on a grind. I was taking 15, 18-hour classes. I was doing YouTube every single day, editing videos basically every single day. I was literally wake up, craft, eat, YouTube, sleep, repeat. And I was also stuck in a dorm room. And it just slowly caused me to go insane. Let me not use the word insane. It drove me frustrated all the time, seeing no progress, and I was taking courses I already knew or I didn't care about, so I felt like I was wasting my time. I wasn't really doing anything impactful. I was just running circles, repeating the same day over and over and over again. But that wasn't the only reason. It was just the perfect storm to make me start thinking a lot more in my life. I didn't have the best childhood, despite what my family may say, despite what my friends who are still around may say. I didn't have the best childhood. There's a reason I'm scared of a bus, especially a school bus. There's a reason I'm scared of a belt, and it's not because of parents. There's a reason I'm afraid of crowds. There's a reason I'm afraid of so many things that people take for granted. There's a reason I am the way I am. I'm an introvert, but not by choice. I used to be an extrovert. I love talking to people. One of my passion projects is literally meeting strangers and hearing their stories. But I'm an introvert due to society. I will just give you a basic summary of my life, so hopefully you can understand that after 10 years of trying to keep it down, keep all these memories down, it just popped. And what can I say? Except, whoo boy, having all those memories come back to you within a few months. Yeah. I was severely bullied. Not just, oh, you are fat. Oh, you are ugly. Oh, you're so damn bad at soccer. It wasn't that type of bullying. It was, but it wasn't always. People literally tried to kill me. Not even kidding. And I'm not talking like with pencils going, hee 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 hee, I'm killing you. No, I had people literally strangle me. People literally tried to strangle me to death on multiple occasions. It wasn't just a one-time thing. I had group of people throw me into a corner by the school and just start pounding me to the point that I would come home constantly with bruises. I had people who will put me in chokeholds until I pass out. I had people which we do everything in their ability to break me, both figuratively and literally. I had people who touch me inappropriately, my peers. I was always told never fight back. So since I followed the rules, praying that maybe the teachers and staff will do something, they never will. We usually had to fight with lawsuits and threaten them with going into the media. My parents were trying to use Twitter methods and cancellation back in 2010 before it became popular. Because that's the only way you can get things done. Or at least bring attention to it. I was so beaten at times, there are literally parts of my body I don't feel a thing. The nerves are damaged. It's the reason why I say I have high pain tolerance. I wasn't born with high pain tolerance. I was literally trained into having no pain. Also, you may notice if I butcher a word, I kind of flinch or I'm like kind of tense. Yeah, I have classmates of mine which we count how many times I butchered words and sentences in class and give me those many slaps, kicks, punches, and sometimes slams to the ground every time I make a mistake. It's the reason why I just learned to not talk unless I'm confident in talking. And that's just a year or two span of my life. I can talk about so much more. Again, I was touched inappropriately on numerous occasions. I was exposed multiple times. I had people attempt to argue with me, and sometimes which we did. By legal definitions, they did. I've been coerced. I've been almost kidnapped a couple times. I just had a really terrible childhood. Despite what the pictures of my childhood may say and the memories that my parents get to see. Because at home, I was safe. I was comfortable. I can be who I was. But as soon as I left those doors in my home, I felt like a monster. Because that's how society treated me. An alien that does not deserve the right to speak and live. I was forced into isolation. Well, the classmates didn't want to talk to me unless they wanted to insult me. It is the reason why I say to this day, I was told the F word before I discovered technically I am. So, they were able to figure me out. I don't know how the fuck they figured out before I did, but I guess they were right. But I was called out more than I was told you're cool. And I love you. It's the reason why my sister gets told now all the time that she is loved. Because I wasn't really told that all that often. And when you're told that you're a F word, R word all the time, a bitch, you just learn that you are those things. You don't belong. That's why when I was at age 11, I wanted to commit suicide. Obviously, because my mom only knew psych wards and mental hospitals and counselors and all that from media, they try a religious aspect. They try keeping me away from people because that was the best thing they could have done. Because psych wards in 2010 to 12 was treated as if you go there, you're never going to come back out ever again. Especially since this was recently after I was discovered to have autism, and psych wards and autistic people don't usually have the best track record, just in general. If you look back in the past, schizophrenia, DID or multi-personality disorder, PTSD, and autistic people are usually the most likely people to get assaulted and killed in asylums. So with all that knowledge, my parents did everything they could to keep me away from the hospital. They try everything. The church didn't help me all that much because since I did like guys and I knew that, back then I just didn't have a word for it like I do now with bisexuality. I knew I had to keep that under wraps because if I tell, the most stereotypical Christian things will happen, and I made a mistake when I was 18 and I was shown the truth. Is the reason why I would never go back to a church. And I'm spiritual. Don't get me wrong, I am spiritual. But I ain't going back to any organization or church. Period. End story. I don't care what people say. I've been told that this is the best church ever, and I've been lied to on a few occasions. Behind closed doors is usually when you get told the truth. But there's that. But for basically 10 years, literally 10 years, give or take, I was always keeping these past memories down. As I gained more bullying, more people trying to hurt me. A few people attempted to kill me in high school. I don't know why. I guess I'm just a magnet for people to hate me. I don't know. Maybe it's my work. Maybe I need to... I don't know. Maybe I need to do something else. I guess this face is not likable. But 10 years of that. Of accusations, assault, isolation, discrimination, mistakes, following false role models, and so many things led me to a spiral in August of 2021 that drove me into a serious depression episode. But I knew the warning signs, and as soon as I thought, for the first time in a legitimate thought, that maybe the world would be better without me, that's when I got up. Well, I didn't get up. I walked over to my roommate. The roommate that is in the depression PSA. He's the man that you should praise to help me snap out of the episode long enough, the depression episode, long enough for him to get me help. Pull me away from my room that I was trapped in all the time if I wasn't out in class or going to get food. I fell into this repetitive cycle, and he snapped me out of it and took me out to nature. He literally made me touch grass. Ironically enough, for the both of us, because he was a D&D computer writer person he loved to death, and I'm a media student that spent way too much time on the computer and repeating this nasty cycle. And the both of us touched grass, and we talked things out. And as they were talking, the resident hall got the police and one of the upper staff members. And when I came back, we talked things through, and I volunteered myself to go to the mental hospital because I was tired of running from my past. I needed to do something, and I need to do something now. So I was sent in. I was put into an emergency room in one of the waiting rooms, basically. TV, a bed, etc. I was told to remove all clothing, all objects. I didn't take out my underwear because I wasn't going to be in the gown, and I knew from my research, because I was thinking about going to a men's hospital anyways, that I was going to have that really whole underwear. And I didn't want that, so I kept my underwear, but I gave everything else away. Which probably didn't help my case. A guy with no underwear, oops. And I basically waved my parents. Well, specifically my mom. My sister was not allowed to go into the waiting room for some stupid reason. Some policy here. And my mom and I was able to talk things out for a bit. She made sure I was safe before renting out a hotel for a little while. And then she became my advocate to get my college to do some shit. And she advocated for me hard. And things were done. I won't specify because that's a whole separate video to itself, but she basically changed some college policies with what she said, apparently, which is epic. My mom has always been an expert due to how much hell I received in elementary school. To basically be, she could probably be a lawyer with how much knowledge she knows about the law here. But anyways, back to my experience. After waking up around 6 a.m., I was into the actual ward, and the bedroom that we had was a 2-person bedroom with a bathroom with no doors. And that's because when you are in this specific ward, in these specific rooms, they want to keep an eye on you 24/7 because you are high risk to yourself and others. Understandable. Even though now I have a new phobia of having someone spy on me as I take a shower. You didn't have to be that close. You didn't have to be that close. Just saying, it's kind of weird. But I just live basically for a week playing games and kind of distracting myself. Telling stories of my life to people, nurses, and just hearing people out. I won't specify names and stories for privacy reasons, but I basically, when I was done, I had a note from my psychologist saying that I'm a natural therapist. That's a good thing and a bad thing, because that tells me at least that yes, I'm good with other people, but I'm not good at explaining my story to others. Which is something I'm still having issues to this day. I don't know what I can and can't say. And I don't know how much detail people want or not. So, the overall good thing about it is, I am on med. It's somewhere down there. I'm just too lazy to get at the moment, but it will reveal too much information. And the internet's a trained pace. I don't want to be dots, personally speaking. But I'm on medicine. I was introduced to a few more conditions. Some of them are pretty obvious because I already knew I have a history of it. Depression, anxiety, social anxiety. The obvious shit. 2 of them I didn't realize I had, but it makes sense. PTSD. Certain triggers will happen. One of them was shown in one of the Gradius videos for obvious reasons. And it messed me up for the entire day. So that makes perfect sense. There are things that literally caused me to have a panic attack. And when I panic, I want to run away. That's my natural instinct. I want to run away. I will help if I'm able to, but if I can run, I'm going to run. That's my natural instinct. From all the times I try to fight for myself and then nothing happened or I got in trouble for it, my natural instinct is to run away. So, and I also got dissociative, DID. And even though I'm not like on the extreme case where I have 10, 25 personalities that alternate constantly, it's not that severe. I do have it though. It is basically 4 personalities in my head, and we work together. The only problem is we do forget what happened previously. I notice I have a wholly different personality in person, on camera, and a few other things. Obviously, it could also be masking, but I hear them. It's part of the reason why I stutter, because I'm trying to make sure my thoughts get cleared out, but obviously a few others will not. Plus, I respond to different names. I won't say it, because I don't want people to try to say them out loud. But if you say certain names around me, my body will naturally react to it. But then can be confused why I reacted to it. What can I say? Your boy has issues. Your boy has issues. But it's not severe. Same thing with my depression, anxiety. Yes, I have episodes. Yes, I have wild days I feel up and bright and optimistic and bright. And there's days I'm like, can I just go to bed and just do nothing? Please? I have those moments. But it's not severe that it causes me pain every single day. Occasionally. One to 2 times a week I usually have those moments. But similar to the 10 years before, I fought back. But anyways, let's go back to the psych ward visit. I have a habit of rambling, because I want to escape. But the good things about it is they did finally, on record now, no more me trying to plead for common sense. I have documented proof I have these issues, and no one can protest it now. I just have a strong face, strong personality. So, that's been done. I also got medicine I take. There's days I do forget. It happens. But I have medicine now. Does it help? I don't see it helping that much. But then again, I haven't had a really critical episode in a while. So, I got away from the majority of the issues that caused me in. Despite some people saying there was only one issue. No, there's many. A lot of the ones that we did have control over are basically gone. We don't have to worry about it. A few outside variables, but it is what it is. But other good things, it just, I didn't felt alone. I didn't feel like this was my own issue. I was able to talk to others about their stories and how much we relate. And just an overall sense of I help. Because that's what I am basically down and through what I am all about. I want to help people. It's the reason why so many people say I shouldn't be a film guy. I should be a teacher, a therapist, counsel person, etc. I naturally want to help. But I don't want to help all the time. You see, there's a thing called I have issues. But I do help to the best of my ability, and I hate doing nothing. I want to work. Then again, according to my counselor, right? Yeah, counselor. That's a sign that I am still trying to cope. I have a workaholic attitude because of me wanting to work away my past. That's why I've been trying to take more of a step back. 12-hour classes, give or take, and about 3 to 4 videos a week. Besides my workout videos, by which we just prop my camera down and go. Kind of like this, but with these, it takes a lot more energy out of me than the fitness. The fitness is just physical tiredness, but then again, I always feel physically tired. These type of videos takes a lot of energy out of me. But getting back, there I go again. I'm avoiding the past. Self-awareness, man. I need to be self-aware of these things. But the bad thing about the Lord experience I had, and this may not be the case for every Lord, I should say, but in my case, it was only like 1 to 2 activities we did as a group or with nurses and doctors. The rest of the time was just trying to figure out what you need to do as they watch over you. In retrospect, they were analyzing you, seeing how you socialize, seeing how you behaved, and basically I was seen as a lab rat over a person, because I guess when it comes to activities, you can fake it, while if you're not doing anything, your natural personality will sneak out. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. I just felt like they were doing nothing to help us, besides those little breaks in between. Especially over the weekend where we were basically doing nothing. Because federally, they're not supposed to help us. But we need to save it for our safety. So that weird enigma where they can't do that much. But that's generally how it went. It was not eventful. There was no crazy, insane person screaming down the hall with a knife that they somehow stole from a bird through a ceiling or like a Hollywood thing. It was basically a ton of Uno, poker, solitaire, and talking. And obviously I can't talk about the talking because that's personal details and I don't have the right to speak of those things. I can just speak about my own. But after spending a week there and playing so many games of Uno, I did get tired of it. Which, for a few people who know me, the fact that I said that when I came back to reality scared them half to death. Because Uno is like one of my favorite games. But that's all I can really say. It was so neutral, but it was so eye-opening. I was numb because of it. But because I had nothing to worry about, but just live for the first time in like years, I didn't have to stress about something for weeks on end or years and stuff like that. But just be in the moment, it showed me how numb I was. I was so busy working and seeking stimulation and seeking these joys and pleasures of the world that I was numb. So numb on the inside, I couldn't really feel anything. In a way, I felt like a walking bag of meat with nothing on the inside. It's a feeling I would never forget. Honestly. But once I got out, finished what I needed to do and take a break from school and actually enjoy life without school, since I've always been in school, and got a chance to just get a sense of control with being a substitute teacher and helping people again, it brought joy back in my life. And when I got back to school and I can just focus on film stuff instead of these damn core classes that just strip so much energy out of my life, that I found love in making creative projects again. I think you can tell the difference in me if you watch my October videos of 2021, my 2022 videos like early, like March, and my videos now. I think you can tell a difference in just attitude-wise. I know when I took a look back at it, granted I have inside knowledge, you can tell how hard I was trying to fake it. Fake it for the camera. So, that's basically it. Sorry I couldn't tell you that much, but again, there's so much that happened that I can't really talk about. But hopefully you get a sense of an idea. And I do want to recommend something. And I do mean this from the bottom of my heart. You can work out. You can try to work out and gym. Go to the gym, bro. Oh, yeah. You can try that. You can try to work 10 plus hours to get past your trauma. You can try to watch porn. You can try to watch hentai. You can try to devour yourself in YouTube and Twitch and Facebook Live, I guess is the thing, or TikTok. You can try to work yourself to death in school. You can try to be on your creative projects and do nothing. But the truth be told is, you're never going to run away from your trauma doing all that. All you're doing is literally just moving it to the side temporarily so you can focus on this one thing. But eventually, something's going to happen. And it's going to come right back in your face. If you watch TV, something's going to trigger you eventually. Remind you of the past. And it will start creeping back in. You can try throwing away your life, like I tried to do. Eventually, it's going to be there, and there's going to be nothing you can do to stop it. You can go to the gym, like I also tried to do in 2021, and just bench press. You can try to fight it and fight it and fight it. Work yourself to death 2+ hours a day, trying to get gains to work out your life. All you're doing is putting your mind away from the trauma, not talking about it. You're not going to run away from it. You're just trying to ignore it. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you, and there's going to be no amount of binge presses, no amount of videos, shorts, times you have to do that. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. No amount of alcohol, weed, it's going to catch up to you. There's so many cases of people who actually do the suicide that it seems like it happens from out of nowhere for no reason. And that's because it finally caught up to them. And they couldn't do any more distractions to ignore it. So instead of trying to look past it, address it, figure out what it is, what it's doing to you, and actually solve it. So that you don't become empty, but eventually you will still hold the cup that holds all the issues you have. All the beatings, all the gropings, all the hate, all the discrimination. It will still be there, molded. But hopefully the actual pain will be gone minus a few drops. So that you can hold it and realize that this is not a part of you. It's just a thing that molded you into who you are today. And use that as an example so you can try to address issues in others. That cup is still going to be there. Occasionally, it will come up on you. But instead of trying to ignore it, you drink it, you drink the tea, you enjoy the tea, you set it down because you just addressed it. It's not a perfect analogy, but hopefully you get my point. I became addicted to so many things, trying to avoid my past issues. And it caught up to me. Don't make the same mistakes I did. But if you do have to get help, please talk to a family member, talk to a friend, a teacher, a mentor. If you feel like you absolutely have no one, mental hospital. Talk to a fireman. Talk to a counselor. Talk to a therapist. A few dollars is worth it compared to losing your life. I want you to think about that. I know there's so much hate when it comes to mental health. I still face it to this day. But I rather you, random person on the internet who happened to discover and continue to watch the video to this day. Not to this day, to this moment. I want you to keep living. Okay? I've been through the ringer. I have my fair shares of darkness. I'm still battling to get to the light because there's so many issues I have to get over. So many things I refuse to listen to and I'm finally addressing. But ultimately, I'm happy to be alive. People are screaming outside. Interesting. But even when I was down and out, and I thought no one cared about me, and I went to the ward, when I came back, I have groups of people who I never talked to wonder where I went. People will miss you, even if you think they will not. Because you'll be surprised how much your energy resonates in a room. So, please, if you're feeling bad, get help. And don't be afraid to talk about your issues. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.